Anyone?
Aaron, how would you describe your emotions right now?
Disappointed. Disappointed. I didn't play better, that we didn't play better, especially in the second half.
What do you feel like changed in the second half offensively?
Not a whole lot. I just feel like we had some discipline issues and some penalties that were unnecessary, and then you're not going to win a lot of games when we're so bad on third down. Boz bailed us out with some 4 incredible kicks, but you're playing good teams, you need to score touchdowns, and we just stalled out in the high red zone.
Aaron, what can you say about Jordan Love and just how far he's come over the years, and also just how he played out there tonight?
Yeah, I thought J. Love played great, and he was super efficient. You know, he didn't get sacked, moved around really well, made some plays outside the pocket. Thought he played outstanding.
Aaron, not finishing those drives, does that have carryover for the offense? You know, especially heading into the second half when you're not able to finish in the first half.
Well, it felt good. It was 16-7. You know, we had a nice drive there at the end of the first half, and then, you know, just didn't decide the game. But the one play where, I don't know, it seemed like the guy was offsides on 3rd and 8 and didn't come up with a catch. They didn't make a penalty call, and then we punt it, and they hit a kind of wild play to 85 to kind of get back in the game. That was like a big momentum turn in the game.
Aaron, what does an offense have to do when you get behind the sticks to be able to overcome that, like you were talking about those third downs in the high red zone?
Yeah, we had too many penalties, too many negative yardage plays, and then, you know, I wasn't accurate enough on third down, and we weren't creating enough space. But we'll look at the film, and, you know, we'll get better, and we got a good team coming in next week.
I guess when you look at those, is it more about what do we do on 3rd and long, or what do we do to not get into 3rd and long?
Well, it's either we're having a sack we had a sack on 1st down on one drive. We had a 15-yard penalty on 3rd and 2 after the play that went to 3rd and 17. Those aren't high conversion drives or plays. So, you know, we got to be better on 1st and 2nd down. I thought we ran it pretty well at times. Didn't get as much out of the keeper game as we have been. Didn't get as much out of the action game.
I'm sorry. From a personal standpoint, is the game kind of what you thought, maybe emotionally, with your feelings against the Packers?
Yeah, like I said, it would have been different had it been in Lambeau. It's good to see a lot of the people that I grew up with in the league and had time, you know, 3 hours before the game. I was out there spending time with some of those guys, and I enjoyed that.
How did you compartmentalize some of the emotions that come with playing? Obviously, like you said, it's different. Would have been different if it were in Lambeau, but how do you compartmentalize the conversations you have 3 hours before the game versus when the game starts?
Well, this game is about relationships. So some of my dearest friends are not players, you know, and the guys who are still over there, you know, I didn't have much time with many of those guys. I had J-Lo in the room with me for 3 years, but most of those guys were young guys, other than Rashawn Gary, played with me for a few years. So the guys that I spent 18 years with, you know, training staff, equipment staff, nutritionist, Connor Lewis, who was in our room for a while, Luke Getzey was there, Butkus, Stenovich, you know, guys I spent a lot of time with. Those friendships are special, and it was good to see those guys.
There's the names you don't know, the fans in the crowd. What was it like just to see that many Packers fans here, and that you probably never shut down the Go Pack Go chant with the completion?
Say that last part?
What was your, I mean, there was at one point they were chanting Go Pack Go, and you hit DK for a 25-yarder. That had to be a little bit of a strange feeling to quiet that chant for once.
I've heard that chant for 18 years, so Packer fans travel really well. First time in a while I've used silent count for a home game. That's a credit to those Packer fans.
Aaron, this team lost 2 games in a row now. What is needed to get this team back on track?
Well, just an honest assessment. I think setting feelings aside and being okay with criticism, any position, any player, and being honest about what we need to do to improve. And then we can't beat ourselves. I think in the 3 losses, there's been times we've had opportunities and we've hurt ourselves with, you know, turnovers or just negative plays. So we gotta cut those out. We gotta get on the same page on offense and defense and keep the faith.
Aaron, did you sign a jersey for Jordan after the game, and are you comfortable sharing what you wrote to him?
No, not comfortable sharing it.
Aaron, just Jordan's game overall, what was your takeaway impression of how he performed today?
Yeah, he played great. Played fantastic. He's had a really nice season. He's been really efficient with the football. He's opportunistic, though. I felt like he was very patient tonight. He took the run solutions. He took the checkdowns. Moved in the pocket well. Thought he played really well.
How much did Isaac Seumalo's injury kind of affect what you guys were able to do on offense, particularly in the second half, not being able to go to using the packages with Spencer and Darnell?
Yeah, it took one of our pass catchers, off the field and into the offensive line. So that was some change up for us. But Isaac's a warrior, and he wanted to be back out there, but he was, obviously not 100%. We still have big personnel stuff that we can do with 2 tight ends instead of Darnell and Spence, and obviously that's been an effective personnel group for us, and didn't have it, but I feel like we still had opportunities to run the ball well. I thought Jalen, in his limited touches, again, he's a damn good runner. I thought he had a nice game.
On the other side of the ball, how deflating was Deshaun's injury and everything he brings to this team day in and day out?
Yeah, I love Deshaun. From the first time I was out here in the spring minicamp, and he's a special guy, and that it's tough to see.
Anyone else?
What do you think are some of the big issues that you guys are having in defending the pass, whether it be man stuff over the middle? I mean, Tucker Craft was just repeating over and over again. What are some of the issues that you're seeing?
I think it just comes down to understanding situations, doing your job, doing it at a high level, just playing with a sense of urgency. I think when you understand the situations, and understand the formation at the end is tails, is keys, and I think that's the part that we got to be better at. I think when it's man-to-man, you just got to, it's man-to-man, like you got to eat. Like, I think we got the best guys to cover in the world. I think we just got to go out there and do it. It's just, we just got to lock in on the details, do what we do, and just be better.
How do you fix an issue with sense of urgency? How do you get guys to play with more of that?
I think you just gotta do it at practice. We do it at practice. I think when you get to the game and something go left, you kind of get a little timid or whatever you want to call it from there. I think you just gotta hone in, lock in, and just be ready for the next play and the next play and the next play. Just keep going. Like, it's a Warriors game. Like, things ain't gonna always be perfect. We just gotta battle back.
Are you seeing guys maybe getting frustrated and then compounding problems on defense?
I think sometimes when you get beat, you kind of get frustrated, especially like maybe you knew the situation or maybe you just got beat man-to-man, like whatever it is. I think when it comes to that, I think you kind of get frustrated as a human, and as a player, because you want to be great, you're competitive. I think every single guy on our defense is competitive and don't want to lose a rep. So I think that's when we just got to hone in on the details and just be better, just be honed in, just have a sense of urgency and be physical, be fast, be aggressive.
What do you feel like changed from the first half to the second half tonight?
They were better and we weren't. I think that's as simple as I could put it. I think they won their reps and we lost ours.
You talk about compounding issues. How much did Deshaun Elliott's injury kind of snowball and impact the rest of the defense once he went out?
Yeah, it hurt. Deshaun's a one-of-a-kind player. We know what he brings to this defense, but at the same time, I think the guys that we got are good players. I think they could step in and do the job, and it definitely hurt. Got emotional about it, but I think at the end of the day, we get paid to play the sport. We're good at the sport. We're competitive. I think it shouldn't be no fall off. I think we should come in and dominate, and that starts with me. I got to be better. So that's what it is.
When you zoom out, just what do you feel like are some of the biggest recurrent issues that are plaguing this defense overall?
Situations. I think we just got to understand situations, understand formations, and know what they're about to do. I think that's the biggest thing. Just us honing in on that detail and being better at that. I think every time on third down, no matter what the distance is, we kind of fall short of that. So I think we got to be better. Definitely think we got to be better at third downs for sure.
Pat, the issue of covering the tight ends continues. What needs to happen to get that issue resolved?
It's going to be resolved. It's going to be resolved this week.
It's the third straight game that the defense hasn't forced a turnover. Is there anything that you can attribute that to?
I think we just got to hunt it more. I think there's opportunities there. I think we just got to be more. I think when we have a more level of comfort and we had a sense of urgency pre-snap, I think post-snap will be better. I think that will lead to turnovers. I think guys' eyes in the right spot. guys flying to the ball, doing the things that we do at a high level, get back to doing that, and I think we'll get the ball.
So you're playing against the team that Aaron played for 18 years. Did you get a sense of what this game meant to him? And did he address the locker room after the game?
He did not address the locker room, but we all knew what it meant. That's the stuff that kind of stings the most. Is you want to go get that for him. Like obviously with me last year, the whole talk, and that we got to win the first time. You kind of get to the next year and he's in that situation. You want to go get it for him. So that definitely stings. Definitely stings.
You got kind of chippy on the field a couple times. Is that because of the heightened emotion, knowing that you want to win this game for Aaron, or was it being frustrated at yourself? What were kind of some of the factors?
Just football. You get chippy every game. I think at the end of the day, we're competitive. Emotions run high. We're guys. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be chippy. It's football. Like it's a competitive sport. It's a contact sport. It's going to get chippy. It's going to be rough. It's football.
When you're giving up yak the way you were, and Kraft had over 100 yards himself, what do you attribute that to?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
When you have as much yards after the catch as you were, Kraft had over 100 by himself. What do you attribute that to?
I think we just got to be better. Honestly, I don't think it's no certain thing. I think it's just being better. I think understanding who he is and knowing what he can do. You watching the film, you know what he can do. You know what routes he run, certain formations, certain situations, what you gonna get from him. I think we just gotta hone in on that. It's nothing more than just knowing situations, knowing personnel, knowing who's in the game, what they do, how they do it, and you know, it's that simple.
As a defense, how frustrating is it that you guys are able to stop the run and an elite spring somewhere else? I mean, how do you kind of describe that feeling?
It sucks. It sucks. You want to put it all together in games. You go through into practice all week. You have a good practice and don't work out in the game. So it definitely sucks. But I think at the end of the day, we're gonna get better. It's a long season. We're just gonna keep building, keep stacking, learn from these, and just get better.
Coming into the season, you know, a lot of guys on defense weren't afraid to talk about the potential that this group had. What gives you confidence at this point in the year after a lot of struggles that you guys can still reach your full potential?
I know who we are. I know who I am. I'm not one to shy away from things. You know, anytime there's fire, I'm willing to go run in it. I don't care. Starting with me, I got to be better. And every single day, these guys gonna get whatever they need from me: energy, focus, whatever it is, sense of urgency. I'm gonna be there for them. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to the ball. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to help this team win. And you know, the best way I could do that is by lead by example. You know, it's just one thing to talk, but I'm gonna try to lead and do that for them.
When you have 2 straight games like this, giving this many points, this many yards, do you worry about losing confidence as a group and even as individuals?
Yeah, I think from time to time we're human, you know, so that happens. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to pull each other back as a brotherhood, as a family, and just try to, you know, battle back from these things. You know, always keep your family close. Always try to do the best you can to keep everybody locked in and close with each other, so we can battle back from these things. Yeah, appreciate y'all.
No one else coming? No one else coming.